calling the meeting of the Intergovernmental Committee to order. A physical quorum of the members is not present. However, pursuant to Section 7E of the Open Meetings Act, members are permitted to attend remotely. Either one member of the committee, the chief administrative officer, or our chief legal counsel are physically present at the regular meeting location. In-person attendance and public comments are allowed, subject to attendance limitations required to ensure the health and safety of those who attend. So welcome everyone here to the intergovernmental meeting. We're going to give the welcome first, I think, to Mayor Craig, and you can do your statement of what's going on, and then I'll take it from there.
Well, what's going on is we're watching our legislators closely. I
think we need to do an attendance roll call. The state attorney said.
Okay, can we do a roll call? Thank you, Cheryl.
Okay, thank you. I will do that. And I can't see everyone's picture, so I'll just read the names. So I apologize for that.
Okay.
Craig.
I'm here.
Garcia.
Here.
Rummel. Chavez.
Here.
Krajewski. Ozog. Prime. Police. Schwartzy.
Here.
Delman.
Here.
Trilla.
Here.
I'm here.
And Veenstra.
Here.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 in attendance. Thank you.
We have a quorum?
I think Mayor Prine might have just joined there at the bottom.
Right.
I did just join, thanks. Sorry I'm late.
You're okay. Okay, yes, we're fine. Thank you.
You're just starting, so you didn't miss a thing. So I know that Mayor Craig won his election, so that's news for that. So congratulations on that.
Yes, and I think Rich Veenstra also won his election. I'm not too sure if Frank was up this time. Were you up this time, Frank? Yes? Thumbs up?
Thumbs up, baby. I'm all set. Four more years. Oh my God.
Congratulations, everyone.
4 more years to abuse Frank Trilla.
Bring it on.
I know.
We've been broken in. We're ready.
Jeff is reelected, and I think Jeff was challenged. I don't know, Frank, were you challenged?
No challengers.
And Rick was, you were challenged too, and you came out on top.
Yes, I did.
I've already scared everybody away. They didn't challenge me. But it's all good. Serving our community is a blessing. And I'm starting my 14th year or 15th year, I guess. And I enjoy what I do. Anyone for public comment?
No public comment.
Very good. Our minutes of the previous meeting, do we have a motion?
So moved, Selman.
Okay.
Second, Chavez.
Very good, thank you. So we motion second. Any discussion on the minutes? Any updates? Wrap it up in the meat.
Roll call.
Anyway, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Well, we got that.
I'll do the roll call if you like, Mayor.
The roll call, please.
Okay, Craig.
Yes.
Garcia.
Aye.
Rummel. Chavez.
Aye.
Krajewski. Ozog. Prime.
Aye.
Police. Schwartzy.
Aye.
Selman.
Aye.
Trilla.
Aye.
And Veenstra.
Aye.
All ayes. Thank you.
Very good. Now jump to giving DuPage update. Love to hear.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Shefali Trivedi, the Executive Director of Giving DuPage. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you all.
Please.
For those who, I just want to need a thumbs up from folks. Can you guys see it? Are we good? Great, awesome. So for those who may not be as familiar with Giving DuPage, we do serve as the DuPage County Volunteer Center. Our entire mission is to promote giving back and volunteering locally right here in DuPage County. And we are looking to cultivate a fully engaged community through the power of service. We did start at the county as a referral service with a phone hotline. And many years ago, 20 years ago, a couple of local philanthropists approached county government and said that we really needed an organization that would serve as sort of a connector between people who want to give back and the places to do so locally. So that's really our role, to connect volunteers and donors with local giving opportunities. We are that connector agency between the public and the nonprofit community. We also provide some capacity building training and resources for over 400 DuPage nonprofit partners. We are also a very unique entity in that we are a public-private partnership with DuPage County. So we are definitely a part of county government and report to Mary Keating under the Community Services Department, but we also have a 501c3 nonprofit status. I bet a lot of people may not have known that we exist, and some of you may have, but this is sort of a few of our programs and how we serve as resources for municipalities and for your local business community. First and foremost, we host a volunteer portal website that features over 800 local volunteer and in-kind donation needs for hundreds of local nonprofit organizations. I've included a link here, and I'd be happy to provide you with these slides later. But at the end, because I only have a handful of slides, but I would love to show you the portal website just so you can get a quick sneak peek at it for those who may not have seen it recently. We also serve as a resource for local municipalities and companies who need help with their volunteer programs or their big volunteer events. We are here to support you. So sometimes I have municipalities contacting me and saying, hey, we have this big, we want to do a leaf raking event for seniors, for example, in West Chicago. So Mayor Pineda reached out to me. We push out that need through the volunteer portal and try to help secure volunteers for their different kinds of events. So we are a resource for your municipality in that regard as well. I also can tell you that we had a lot of towns and villages calling us, obviously, around this time last year when the wonderful people of DuPage County, their immediate first response after we all came to terms with our new reality under COVID-19 and being a part of the global pandemic, so many people responded and were asking, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? Many of your cities, towns, villages, the local municipalities directed people to Giving DuPage and asked, where can we send people? And we directed folks to our volunteer portal website. For those who want to step up and serve a little bit more with a greater amount of time, we have a board match program that we offer where we recruit, match, and place individuals for nonprofit board service. This is the #1 need that our nonprofit partners tell us that they have. So we offer a program around that. We have an awesome program called Volapalooza that we had to skip last year, but it's a countywide celebration of over 150 local volunteers and service leaders. This is a wonderful way for you to honor your own residents who volunteer in your community often and consistently. And I'm going to skip the last bullet item because I have its own dedicated slide. We are literally right in the middle of this amazing event called Giving DuPage Days. Some of you may have seen this information, and I know for sure county board members have heard about it. It's a multi-charity virtual giving event to support and celebrate over 100 local charitable organizations. Actually, we're literally smack dab in the middle of this 5-day virtual fundraiser. Last year was our first year in hosting this event, and we raised over $229,000 for 80 charities last year. This year we have 100. This is an opportunity for these charities to raise unrestricted funds, and it supports all the causes that any of us would really we consider that we care about. And this year we have a goal to raise over $300,000. And again, this event ends this Friday. I will show you that website very quickly while I'm switching screens to show you some of those websites. Please let me know if you have questions, and I'll also take this opportunity to thank the county board members, some of whom are on this call, but all of whom have been incredibly supportive about, sharing the event, the Giving DuPage Days event, and getting the word out there for these charities. It's just been so wonderful to see everyone sharing about it on social networks, and some of the county board members have even donated financially. And again, so grateful for that support. Thank you all. I'm going to go ahead and minimize. Can you guys see my the volunteer portal screen now? Do you guys see that across the header? Okay, great. So I'm going to kind of minimize my box over here so I can show you this a little bit better. And I'm also going to kind of zoom in a little bit just so that you can see the screen a bit better. So when you land at the volunteer portal, you will immediately see, and again, I'm not going to show you every single thing because, as I said, there's over 800 needs posted at the website, but you can immediately start seeing opportunities for people to give back. You can deliver fresh produce, or you can do a donation drive, or you can be a volunteer program attendant with Wellness House, or you can volunteer with DuPage Habitat for Humanity. There are also jobs posted as well for nonprofit organizations like World Relief, who has a family support coordinator position open. So if you click on any of these needs, you can see a little bit more about it, and you can also choose to respond, and you can also share on social networks easily. You can read about the events and get a little bit more information, and you can also respond or share or just contact the organization directly or see where it takes place. I'm going to go back just 1 second so I can show you some of the searching capabilities. So you can search by keywords or phrases. You can also search by age or by distance from a zip code, or if it's a virtual opportunity, or even by interests. So if it's a clerical opportunity or a board position or something like that. There are, as I said, over 800 volunteer needs posted, as well as you can see in the left navigation, there are in-kind donation needs posted. I will show you the organizations tab in a second. There's jobs posted and nonprofit events posted. So if I just clicked on the events tab, you can kind of get an idea. There's a posting for a free weekly food pantry. There is a program happening for smart planning strategies with the DuPage Foundation. There's a webinar on how to train tutors to help become an adult tutor with Literacy DuPage. So a few events posted as well. As you can imagine, events have gone down during COVID, during this pandemic. I shouldn't keep referencing it as COVID. So during the pandemic, here's the organizations tab. So I just clicked in the left navigation. Again, you can do similar searching by cause or distance from a zip code. And if you click on an organization, for example, just the first one I'm clicking on, you learn a little bit more about who they are, what they do, their contact information directly, and where they're located, if they have a video or photos, their website, their social media links. So it's a little sort of snapshot of the nonprofit organizations. This website is connecting over 5 volunteers every single day, or generating over 2,000 volunteer connections in the course of a year. We did, of course, see a decrease last year because there were less volunteer opportunities, more virtual opportunities posted. So it's been an adjustment, like for all of us. We've had to do our own adjusting as well. I'm happy to answer any questions about the volunteer portal website. Before I click over to the Giving DuPage Days website. And this website you can find easily. Again, I'll be happy to send links to everyone on the email afterwards, but this website is givingdupage.org/volunteer. /volunteer takes you straight to this volunteer portal website. Any questions from folks about the volunteer portal?
for sharing that, because I didn't even realize that that was available. So that's news to me. So I'm really excited to share that with everyone who's looking for volunteer opportunities. So I really appreciate you showing all that. I'm going to be going on there tonight and looking at all. Not that I'm going to volunteer, but
Yeah, no, but well, you already served, so you already serve in a great capacity. But I think it is a wonderful resource, and I do think that, you know, for as much as we try to share about the fact that it is a resource countywide, there are many people who just don't know, right? And so that's where we can really use the help of elected officials to help share. That's why I look for an audience every year with this group, so that we can remind everyone that we are yet another county resource, and yet another resource that makes this county so great, because we are thinking very thoughtfully about how to help in our own community, right? So, and of course, I think the county board also tries to kind of get the word out, but there's so much messaging and we're all lost in a lot of white noise. So it's hard to kind of break through all of it, right?
that was fantastic. So again, I didn't even know that that was available on there. So I have friends who are always looking for opportunities, so I'll be happy to share that as much as I can.
Great, thank you. And then I'm going to go ahead and also share, let me go ahead and click over to the Giving DuPage Days website. So this event is, and I just want to make sure you guys can see this screen now. I've clicked over to the Giving DuPage Days website. Okay, great. So again, as I mentioned, we are right in the middle of this event. You can see the live ticker: 2 days, 5 hours, 42 minutes, 36 seconds, 35, 34. We're getting closer to our goal of raising over $300,000 for hundreds of organizations. If you want to see the list of organizations, you just pop into the menu and check out participating charities. And you can see all the different organizations that are being served. As I said, over 100 organizations so far. I am going to go back to the main website, because the fun part is watching these numbers keep going up. If you want to do something all day long, you'll see yourself tempted to see how the dollar values keep going up, which is really fun. You can see some organizations that are really doing well. For example, DuPage Animal Friends has raised over $32,000 in the course of 2.5 days, which is really exciting. But Outreach House and Glen Ellen Food Pantry and SE Adult Day Services and Glen Ellen Youth and Family Services. Just, it's great to see the organizations raising money and supporting their cause. You can see the folks donating, some of our partners along the way, which is really nice. And also fun is watching this tag board that pulls through on social media. You get to see 2 feeds, the Instagram feed and the Twitter feed. It's really fun to see people posting and sharing, you know, from their different Instagram and Twitter accounts and what they're sharing. So if you want a little bit of inspiration, that's some fun too. I'm also going to switch over. Can someone make sure? I'm going to just stop sharing for a sec. I'd love to take, it's less than a minute, I promise, but I'd love to take just a minute to show you. And when I share, I have to share sound, but I would love to show you the video. And I'm going to crank the volume up before I start a little bit. And So that was the video. I'm happy to take any questions, but I just wanted to give a kind of high level overview about giving DuPage. Oops, sorry, hang on, sorry. Let me get, sorry about that. It went automatically to the next video, I apologize. Always forget that part when you're on YouTube, it just goes to the next video and you never know what it is. Sorry about that. Any questions about giving DuPage, anything I can answer for you, any resources I can share? I will again reply all to everyone in Cheryl's last meeting with the agenda with the links to all of these, so you don't have to search for it. And once again, I want to thank the DuPage County Board. You guys have been great in sharing and promoting on social networks, personal and professional. And I want to do a special thank you to County Board Member Selman. She has double duty. Not only does she serve on the County Board, but she also serves on our Giving DuPage Board, along with DuPage County Board Member Hart. And so I want to thank both of them for being just wonderful advocates for our organization and our mission. Thank you.
Wow, tremendous leadership there. It really looks good, and you know, learning about that and understanding it was just worth the time you presented that tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if I can make one ask of all the elected officials or anyone, quite frankly, on this in this meeting, is if you could share about Giving DuPage Days so we can really help our local charities. All of you know how responsive the local charities have been for our residents during this past year filled with challenges. And every single one of them, like businesses, like everyone, had to figure out how are they going to adjust and still provide these critical programs and services. And so if you can share about the event so that we can help them with the funds they need to do their work, that would be really great. So thank you.
Well, if one of your one of the organizations, the Habitat for Humanity, has been in Hanover Park for a while, and we had an area that I really am high on the revitalization of the neighborhood, and I think it's so important to understand the difference that we can make together by supporting those initiatives and sharing. And so you're providing leadership not only just for one, but for many, and it's nice to see that. I've seen in the last year during these COVID periods how people came out of the woodwork to help others. You know, we're all in this together, and that sounds like a coined phrase, but certainly there's hope at the end of this rainbow. I don't know how you talk COVID period of rainbow. I better be careful how I talk. But there is an end to this, and we need to be supportive of understand that we all have needs and to move forward. So thank you. You're an excellent leader for Giving DuPage and for sharing that. So well done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
really grateful for your time. Thank you.
I really do appreciate what you've done. You can tell the marketing and this has been fantastic because you're almost at your goal. So that's fantastic. I know that I gave to 3 of my favorite organizations today, and I'm sure I'll give more by Friday because there's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
So I hope you go way over the 300,000, but if you need 300,000, I think that's just done. You're just doing fantastic work. So thank you so much for sharing.
God willing, I'll breathe easier on Friday, or at least when we pass that 300, but right, Member Solomon? So I'm still not breathing completely and fully, but soon I will be, I hope, I promise.
I think very soon. I think we'll have a fun end of the week. Lots to celebrate.
Thank you all, thank you.
Thank you for your time. All right, we'll have an overview of, any final questions for Shivali? Anyone? Okay, next on the agenda, overview of behavioral health services. I'm always checking my behavior, you know, but that's another story.
This is something that I thought was very important to share. Speaking of all of the things that have affected us during, the COVID pandemic, I mean, many people are suffering from mental health issues, and I think that we all need to be aware of what our DuPage County Health Board and the behavioral services offer. So I'm so glad that Lori could be here tonight to explain. So thank you, Lori.
Yeah, thank you. So go ahead. Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to attempt to share my screen and really just want to, can you see my screen? Oh, wait. Now you can see my screen? Okay, great. Really just wanted to take a couple of minutes to walk through our behavioral health services. I could talk a lot and go on and on about all of the services we offer, so I'll try to kind of keep it condensed. But our behavioral health services department really, we consider ourselves the safety net provider for the county. We primarily serve the underserved populations, the Medicaid, managed Medicaid, unfunded populations in many of our programs. Our programs are really offered from early, we provide early intervention all the way up through any age at all. So in all of our mental health and substance use programs, as well as our forensic programs, are offered across all of our public health centers. So for those of you who may not be aware, we have public health centers in Wheaton, Addison, Lombard, and Westmont. And what you're also seeing at the top of the screen is our Linda A. Kurzweil Community Center, where we offer many of our crisis and substance use services. The easiest way, this is our website, and it's a fantastic website, but it really provides a nice and thorough overview of what we offer to clients. So if you click on our client tab, so we can kind of walk through our adult services. So our adult services, you know, I always say we kind of have a broad spectrum of adult services. So we have our traditional outpatient services for those that are struggling with mental health. Those are offered in individual and family and group settings. We also have access to a prescriber or a psychiatrist for medical evaluations and medication management. So all of those outpatient services for mental health are accessed across the board at all of those public health centers. Then as we kind of go up the scale in acuity for our adult clients, so when you see the more severely mentally ill or more people that are struggling that need higher levels of care, we also offer enhanced services. So our pre-admission screening process, this is if somebody is in need of a nursing home level of care. We have psychosocial rehabilitation services. These are services for individuals who are really working towards their recovery and need that just socialization and educational services on how to best be independent and work within the community, and while they're working towards recovery to their mental illness. So pre-COVID, there's lots of in-person classes that was offered at the community center. Currently, we are still doing some virtual, but happy to say we have started slowly to bring some in-person services back to the community center as well. So they usually have a chance to be able to do those psychoeducation classes, learn about lots of skill building and how to work and live in the community, and then get a chance to socialize with individuals who might be struggling with some of the same things that they are. Another higher level of services, we have residential services that are offered to our mentally ill clients that need that extra level of support. So these are group home settings or clustered apartment settings where they kind of live together in one community, but in their own individual apartments. Throughout the community, we have 107 beds currently. Usually for our residential programming, they've gone through all of our other levels of care. So they've tried outpatient services, they've worked through those types of things, but are really still struggling and need that added support. So our group home support does 24/7. There's coverage there, there's people there all of the time. Our CAP apartments are a little bit more independent, but still have access to all of our outpatient services. And then for our adults, we offer substance use, which I'll get into a little bit more, and some of our forensic programming. That's kind of some of our specialty program that I'll walk through a little bit more. So our substance use programming is currently offered to majority of adults. We do have one program that is for youth and families, but currently most of it is adults. So our substance use treatment is newer to our organization. So we're probably about 3 years in, and we've been expanding each year, which we're really proud of. So we do offer outpatient programs for substance use. So somebody would come in for an evaluation. They would then be put in a track based on what their needs are at that time. So that could be individual and group counseling that's weekly, or maybe if they need a little bit more higher level care, they're placed in our intensive outpatient program, and that's up to 9 hours a week. And then we also offer MAT. So we do a medication assistant treatment program. So that's that combination of therapy and medication to decrease the risk of opioid overdose. So currently in our MAT program, we use Vivitrol and Suboxone. So we have a couple of different prescribers that have the ability to do that. And again, most of these services are out of our community center, but can be, we do have people going to all other public health centers to receive their services as well. All of the group services are currently out of the community center. And then there's the court-ordered treatment. So we do partner with the courts for our substance use programs. They can be referred through the courts, through probation, and be referred to kind of participate in one level of programming. We also offer the MAT program in the jail. So we actually we partner with the sheriff's office, and when we receive referrals through an inmate that is in jail that is in need of Vivitrol, we can provide that service. We have one of our prescribers that goes in, provides that evaluation, and then we provide Vivitrol. So we provide that injection to that inmate a couple of days before they are released from jail. And then we link them with our substance use services or a community substance use treatment center, whatever their need is at the time. We also in the jail provide some recovery pod classes so if somebody is in the recovery pod, so they've been identified with a substance use disorder, we have clinicians going into the jail and providing that education and linkage to treatment, hopefully once they're released from the jail. So the program that is offered to our youth at this time is the Cannabis Education Program, and that is through our Forensic Behavioral Health program. So that is basically just education about marijuana use. And so that has been, really slow, I think, with COVID. That's kind of put things on pause, but we are trying to get that back and up and running as well. Okay, so I am going to go back. The other level of support for our outpatient services and our outpatient programming is we also offer CST programs, which is our our higher level crisis programming for our adults as well. So when we talk about our adult services, it's really this, it's traditional services, it's that higher level of care all the way through residential. Our youth and family services, this is an area where we offer pretty much the same spectrum of services that I talked about, which is, individual, family, and group therapy at all of our public health centers. We really focus on kind of that short-term intensive treatment and really the inclusion of family members and community-based services. So we understand that with children and family, a lot of these issues are systems, right? So maybe there's some issues going on at school, or there's the family system piece. And so our goal is to really meet the clients and the families where they're at. So often our clinicians are going out into the community, when we can, to be able to provide those services and really kind of get a better understanding of that system. Our SAS program is our crisis program for kids. So this is very specific to individuals it's a state-run program, so individuals who are in crisis and have that Medicaid or Medicaid MCO insurance or have no funding. So if that is the case and they are in crisis, we have 90 minutes to respond to that individual where they are in the community and really try to determine that level of care and level of need, whether that's inpatient hospitalization or just added support. And then we really try to wrap them with services for the next 90 days to make sure that they're stabilized. So this area kind of walks all through what we offer there, and that cannabis education class is there as well. Early childhood and early intervention, that's, it is the 0 to 3 population. We have 2 clinicians on staff that also provides those services as well. And then it brings us back. So our crisis services is a very robust, we have lots of programming for our crisis programming. So we are a national suicide prevention lifeline provider. So we are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year through the National Suicide Prevention Hotline and through our regular county hotline. So those are 2 really good numbers to have on a regular basis to be able to provide, to have anybody that can call and support. So this is anybody that's in need of support, anybody that maybe needs to feel like they need to support somebody else. They're really there to be, to provide intervention, to be a resource, whatever that need is at the time. So both of those phone lines are covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We also have our crisis residential program. So this is an open and unlocked facility at our community center in Wheaton. It's a 12-bed unit, and we basically provide short-term psychiatric stabilization to DuPage County residents. So, this is really for adults 18 and older that are experiencing symptoms, but are not meeting the level of care of inpatient hospitalization. So they really just need a place to be able to stabilize, to be able to get extra support, some therapy, possibly a psychiatric evaluation and medication evaluation, and a wrap around services. But it is voluntary, it is unlocked, and it's meant to really, hopefully, we use it kind of in 2 ways. We use it either as a deflection from inpatient hospitalization. So maybe, we see them and say, maybe we can meet you here and kind of meet your goals here. And we also use it as a step down from an inpatient stay. So we know that at times, inpatient stays can be very short, and maybe individuals need that extra level of support, an extra level of care, or just need to have some time to link to services. So we can do that as well. Our mobile crisis response, this is basically available to any county resident. It's for the adult, it's kind of the adult version of FAST. So same situation. If an individual is really struggling and needs an in-person evaluation, they can call us. We can determine kind of what that level of need is, and we can actually provide a crisis response to that person in the community. Again, we know that somebody going into crisis may not necessarily be able to drive over to our Wheaton location to be able to get all of the things that they need over there. So oftentimes we go out into the community. We go out to homes, we go out to hospitals, we go out to schools. Our community partners like PADS. So this can be really utilized, in any situation. So for the youth, that mobile crisis response needs to be authorized. But for adults, it is just contacting crisis services and letting them know what's going on. The mobile crisis program is also, we've been partnering with police departments. And so we have a pilot with a couple of police departments, Lombard, Westmont, Wheaton, and I believe Downers Grove just came on board. And that is really to, have officers in the moment be able to contact crisis to determine if there isn't, somebody in need of a mental health crisis, and, can we meet them where they're at, or can the police go ahead and drop them off to our community center location? So, what I always say with crisis services is call that main number, because we're there to help and really kind of walk through any situations that, you might need if you have questions on them, or if it's just, hey, I'm not really quite sure what to do. That's the best number to call. We have master's level clinicians answering the phones on 24 hours a day. And then lastly is our forensic behavioral health program. So this is really that intersection between mental health and the criminal justice population. So we've been expanding these programs over the last couple of years as well. So this is, we have partnerships with the court system for our MyCat program, which is called the Mental Illness Court Alternative. We have a program with our probation department, which is called our Special Needs Advocacy Program, that really tries to have mental health needs met through counseling and therapy, and really kind of integrating all of those services in one, especially in those situations where they're being arrested, or or it's due to their mental illness. So we have programs that really kind of try to help bolster that. We also have our PCRT program. That's a partnership program with our sheriff's office. And this partners together a sheriff's deputy and one of our counselor therapists to be able to go out into the community and meet with individuals post 911 call that had a mental health component to that call. So currently, if the sheriff's office receives a 911 call, they respond. It's post-crisis, so they respond, they go out, and then they refer to this team, who then provides that follow-up, so we can go out and provide just engagement, understanding, and hopefully linkage to some of the services from where they can follow up for all of their mental health or substance use needs. The other, and I think the last two things that I want to go over before I can ask if there's any questions. So the other piece here is for community and partners. So our behavioral health collaborative is a large setting of community providers that work collaboratively to kind of identify, implement strategies, make sure that behavioral health needs are met through the community. So the BHC is currently focused on developing and improving the systems with mental health in the criminal justice system. So we do have many partnership programs and pilots and things that we're working on to really kind of focus on this population. One of the initiatives out of this is our Central Receiving Center. So this is something that the Behavioral Health Collaborative and the Health Department has really been looking at, to have that central location and that central place to go for municipalities to be able to drop off for those mental health calls, and for individuals that need assistance in that moment, so they can be evaluated and get all of their needs met in one location, whether that's a substance use evaluation, a mental health evaluation. So that's definitely something that we've been working in that area. The other and really new initiative that's coming out, that's our health department initiative that we brought to the Behavioral Health Collaborative that we're really excited about, is our Zero Suicide initiative. And this is a community initiative that really develops framework to support the entire community, really, to improve suicide prevention and how we handle suicide prevention as a community. So internally, we've developed a work group that is kind of doing that systematically for our organization, to really make sure that we don't have any gaps in our system, and that we're approaching suicide prevention in the same way all across all of our programs, even outside of our behavioral health programs. And we're doing the same thing through the Behavioral Health Collaborative. So we do have an external work group that just started to be able to offer, hopefully, some community system-wide change in how we approach suicide prevention. And then lastly, our trauma and disaster program is a really nice resource. This is a team of individuals that can go out into the community post-trauma or post-disaster. So it really is a group that goes out to debrief and help support people after that crisis. So it's really, debriefing, support, linkage to ongoing care if needed. And our team has really gone out on a wide variety. If there is unfortunately, if there's a completed suicide, or if there's a natural disaster, we've gone into situations after a fire, after a tornado, those types of things. So it really can be all across the board with what we can do to help. So again, calling that main crisis number always gets you to the place, that they would then link you to the trauma and disaster team if that's what was needed. Okay, so overall, that's a lot of our services. The really nice thing is our website is very comprehensive, and it kind of walks you through, and it's really easy to find if you do behavioral health and kind of walks through each and every category. But overall, we are here to support the community and to serve the community in any way we can. So with that, I can take any questions that you might have.
Sure. Any questions, anyone? What a tremendous presentation.
Thank you.
Yes, Ashley? You're muted.
Yeah, thank you. I was just wondering, for your mobile programs that go to either young adults or children or adults in crisis, are those vans sort of discreet, or does it show up branded as the county health department? Just sort of how's that show up to your house?
Yes, so they actually, our mobile crisis program, they have their own vehicles. So it is not county related at all. The only thing that they would really have is their badge that says health department. So it is very discreet.
Nice. Thank you so much for this presentation. We've heard obviously so much about COVID over the last few months and all the fantastic work you guys are doing there. It's really nice to hear this too. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lori, so much for presenting. You and I have had discussions about and I'm just always amazed, even listening to you over and over again, what's all the services that you do offer and the wonderful things you're working towards. So I really appreciate, I love the mobile crisis response team. That's something that I think is necessary. Have you found that during this time when people have been kind of stuck at home or school hasn't been going on, that anything like the numbers have increased? Is there something you can talk about with that? Or
yeah, I would say early on in the pandemic, our mobile crisis response had decreased, especially with youth. And we really saw that as, kids weren't going to school. A lot of our referrals are the schools are referring because they're seeing those types of things and they know how to refer and do that. So we did try to get some education out there early on to say, call, even if you're not in school, call, we can still do that. Fortunately, even through most of the pandemic, our mobile crisis response has been able to remain face-to-face. There was a short time that things we felt like were not safe enough to do that, but we supplemented with video. So all of our clinical staff tried to get on Zoom or really at any point, at any kind of thing that they could do to have that face-to-face, Google Meets, whatever whatever they're used to. But now we are seeing that uptick. So, while I think people in the beginning were pretty, whether it was they didn't know how to reach out or, it was just too much and they weren't reaching out, we are seeing that those numbers increase. So while we're never happy to see crisis numbers increase, we're happy to see more and more people reaching out to try to get the services they need.
Well, thank you for that. And I think I have one more question. In terms of the forensic behavioral health services, you said that they go out and help officers, because that's really important. I think that we keep officers safe.
Yeah.
And all over, and also our citizens, who might be having a mental health crisis. So that's really good to hear, and that the Behavioral Health Collaborative is working toward even finding more ways to do it. I know I actually attended the last the MyCap graduation with some people, and it was just fabulous to see, they were doing well in life and they were succeeding, and then they were going ahead and they were getting the help and care and actually just the caring that they required. So that to me was just fascinating. So I'm just so glad that you're working together with all this. So thank you so much. Does anyone else have any questions of Lori? Well, thank you so much. It is so important, as you and I have spoken to each other, that this is such an important thing. And I just, I'm so grateful that you came and explained and everyone was able to see what you actually offer. So thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So going on, we'll go back to our agenda. And We'll see if there's any updates. Are there any municipal issues, Mayor Craig, that you would like to talk about, or any of the other mayors?
Yeah, let's jump with Frank Trilla. Frank?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be selfish at this point and thank Karen Ayala. I was stricken with COVID about 6 weeks ago, and her department was amazing. And the follow-up that I got from, I got a daily call or text every day, and I was isolated. I wasn't with my family. I was gone. As soon as I knew I had it, I left. And so I just want to say, these county services that you guys provide, they seem to touch everybody, and a lot of people don't even realize they're county services. So I just want to thank you guys for doing a job that, you guys are the unsung heroes. And I call Karen out by name because I know her, and she and I have worked on several projects, some unfortunately, but you guys do a hell of a job, and I tip my cap to all you guys and thank you.
Nice. Who else do we have? Jeff, anything?
Yeah, thanks, Rod. Basically, I task of the main things going on is the Haymarket public hearings that started in October of 2019 are still continuing. The Plan Commission's meeting 2 or 3 times a week to try to get those public hearings finished, hopefully sometime in the near term, so that the plan can go to the village board. And then we have also started to try to develop a downtown redevelopment plan that hopefully we'll institute sometime this summer.
Oh, very good. Let's see. Rich, you got anything?
Only just a comment that, somebody had asked me if anything good's come out of the COVID, which is kind of a weird question. But, I think when you really look at the ability that we all have to come together and focus and share resources, there's really a strength in numbers that too often we're divided and go in different directions. But I think COVID's brought the best out of all of us and has really proven that we can do things that are pretty remarkable when we work together. So, looking forward to that continuing once we get past the COVID.
And we will get past. Am I missing any other mayor out there? I would, as far as Hanover Park goes, I think you all know we're in 2 counties 50-50, which is always a challenge. But DuPage County was very, very well in sharing the dollars that we were wrangling with. I think Hanover Park was a little over 900,000 from DuPage County, and Cook County we received just a little over 200,000. So there was more thought, I thought, and sensitivity to the municipalities by the county, and I did appreciate that. I'd also like to thank Amy for joining in with our business initiative that we were on, and thank you for your time with that, Amy. And it's always good. Our community development department is always trying to help us. When you're a town our size, it's difficult. We're at that western, I call it the western shadow, looking around O'Hare. Everything goes this way and that way, and I've been a great advocate for western access to O'Hare, and I think we're evolving with that. There's a meeting tomorrow morning with Raja Krishnamurthy and the tollway just outside of O'Hare on the western side. One of these days, when that opens up, I've got 150 acres that's been sitting there like nobody knows what to do, and a developer is going to figure out, hey, look at Hanover Park. I call us the Western Star because I do, and that's where Metra intersects with 390, and having that road get that little ramp over the county farms is on my agenda, and the county's been good working with us, the DuPage mayor and managers with our looking at STP dollars, and hopefully some of these dollars coming out of Washington, earmarks, they're starting to call and bring back the earmarks, will help us. Our legislators have made a lot of promises to municipalities and probably to the county with dollars to help us with our infrastructure. Infrastructure is an important thing. Knocking on doors in my community, people were more concerned about their potholes than they were about anything else. People understand, and you know, if anybody's out there and they don't want to wear a mask, I tell them, wear the mask to honor those that have lost their lives, because it reflects back, you know, share a piece of your heart in that way. We've got to get past this, and I'm looking forward to the day that we can all get out together and dance in the park, so to speak. I'm not a good dancer, so I'll warn you, but it's I do enjoy my community, and I'm going to hand this back, Paula, if you'd like to take some lead on the county side.
Yeah. Our thing is right now we're waiting for our first payment from the American Rescue Plan. I think that's going to be what we're going to be concentrating on the very near future. So, you know, we're looking for any, you know, projects that anyone's thinking, you know, could be. We're still waiting for the guidelines per se on what we can exactly spend it on. So once we get a more clearer picture on that, we're looking for projects and things that we, you know, every municipality thinks that they might need. I know some municipalities where I think it's larger than, I want to say 500,000. I think they're getting their own money, if I remember that right. You know, please do contact myself or one of the other board members. We would be happy to hear what your ideas are. I know I was watching digitally the meeting this morning, and I was happy to hear that the numbers are better this time coming back than 2008. I mean, the graph they showed was just kind of, you know, hopeful. So that was kind of nice to see this morning. So other than that, I think that is what we mainly are just waiting for on the county level. I'm going to give kudos also to the DuPage County Health Department, who is just still giving out the vaccinations left and right. I've had both of mine, and as of Monday, I can feel much better about things because it's been the 2 weeks. So I highly encourage everyone to get vaccinated. My first thing is going to be driving up to my grandchildren, who I haven't seen for a long time. So that's pretty much it on the county side. Does anybody else have anything they want to add tonight?
Can I chime in? Thank you. Thank you, Paula. I just wanted to kind of echo what Mayor Veenstra said about how well we're overlapping. I do think that's been the silver lining of this, these challenges this last year. And I do think that the program that Hanover Park put together, Mayor Craig, huge shout out to your team. It was a fantastic business event that ideally I'd love to see us all try to implement and overlap with all of our municipalities. I just think it's a fantastic opportunity for us to get the word out. What we did is we overlapped, and I gave a very brief intro to WorkNet, but it was all WorkNet all that day. But it really went over all the amazing resources that are available for everyone who is in between jobs right now, or maybe businesses that need to pivot. And I think we all know of those in our communities. So for them to know that they have that tremendous resource in the county, I think it's a great way for us to partner with our towns to get that that message out. And yeah, I think that was, and then just I think to echo what Paula said, I know from an economic development standpoint, the more we have information for your businesses that are struggling and may need to get on Choose DuPage's radar for when we do have that next round of stimulus, we are kind of having a little bit of a parking lot. So I would love to encourage that everyone who hears about a business that might be reaching out for grant money in this next round, that they do get in touch with Choose DuPage and work with them, just so that they're already kind of in the lineup, and that when those grant funds become available, we can really just make it really seamless and easy for them. So if you guys can put that on your radar, that will help us out a lot. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Amy. I know Shubra, I wrote it down here. Shubra will appreciate the feedback. One of the big issues we have, of course, is we have many mom and pop businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to break away to do different things is very difficult. And, but I will pass that along. Thank you.
Please do. Your team was super organized. They gave a great presentation, and I really think it can be a model that we can use throughout our communities. So huge kudos to you guys for putting that together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, is there anyone who has any other old business they would like to talk about tonight?
Yes, Paul, Greg Schwarzy here.
Okay.
My only old business is just to introduce myself, as I was unavailable at our last meeting, as I was on duty at the firehouse. And especially for the mayors that don't know me here, my name is Greg Schwarzy, District 6, and just a little bit about what I'm doing on the county board. I'm on the chairman of the ETSB committee, the vice chair of Health and Human Services. I'm on JPS, which is Judicial Public Safety, Public Transportation, Finance, and I'm appointed to the HOPE Task Force, which is the opioid task force. So I'm 13 and a half years as a Carroll Stream Village trustee, so I'm very passionate about municipal government. So please reach out to me anytime. I'm here, and I want to do whatever I can to help our municipalities, and I look forward to meeting you guys in person at some point. Thank you.
Well, some of those of us that have communities in District 6 look forward to our next joint meeting.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Shubra, yeah, not Shubra, I said Shubra. Suzette, do you hear that?
I heard that, Mayor, and I'm going to be counting on you to help schedule one.
Yeah, I'm a pain. Any other old business? I know Paula asked. I do want to mention that the RTA is going through a process where they're sucking up some of the suburban transit dollars, and Metro's feeling the effects. And I'm on the Metro board, so I'm going to take a little pitch. I know the county wrote a letter to RTA. I don't know if the county received a response. I've been checking with the other suburban counties, and it doesn't seem like anyone's getting a response from RTA. We need to turn this around. They came up with a presentation that I just didn't find palatable, but I don't want to be a part of the problem. But I think the appointing authorities need to continue to support suburban transit. So I know, who's your transportation person? Is it
Mary Oza? I don't believe it's here.
Yeah, she's not on tonight. And then we have, I think the county appointed somebody new to Metro. I don't know when they start, but does anybody know who that is?
It's Wes Beckton. He starts July 1.
It's who?
Wes Beckton, Becton. He'll replace John Zedeker as of July 1.
Oh, okay, okay. I'd love to communicate with him if I can. Maybe you could share me his contact information. That would be great. Anyone else? Okay, new business.
Mayor, just on your, and sorry, it's Brian Krajewski. I had something going on earlier today, so I just got on. But did you talk with or just put a call to Senator Dillard regarding RTA?
Calls with Senator Dillard.
Pardon?
Yes, yeah, I think many calls were made.
Has he got back to you?
No.
All right, I'll give him a call. I just talked to him yesterday. But
you might ask, what's the deal? Because
sure,
transit should have a seat at the table, and I know we need to fix this. And I'm not even sure if he got back to the county chairman.
Sure. No, I'll give him a call tomorrow.
And I can let Mary Ozog know that you were questioning this, and so that she can maybe get back to you if she's heard anything from them.
Okay, yeah, we should, I mean, when people write to the RTA, and, you gotta have a balance here. It's just, I'm struggling with this. And so the Metro board, basically, we all spoke to it initially when we first heard it. And then we kind of strategized that our appointing authorities probably carry a little more weight than we do individually. So,
Okay.
so consider that. And Brian, I appreciate anything any help in that area.
Oh, I'll give this senator a call tomorrow and have him give you a call.
He's familiar with it.
He's the chairman. He should be.
Yeah, he's the chairman, He's part of the suburban area, so we've got to have balance. That's all I'm asking.
No, he understands that, and I'll make sure he gets a hold of you.
Thank you. Anything else? I'm looking at adjournment. Does anybody else have anything for the good?
Business? Anybody have any new business or anything? I think we're looking at adjournment.
Holy smokes.
I'll move to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Karen, did you wave? Did you want to say something? Oh,
We can't hear you.
I was just saying good night. Thanks.
thank you all. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We need a roll
Take care.
call vote. Do we need a roll call vote, or we can just say good night?
Thank
Good.
you.
Everybody, aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Thank you all very much, and have a good evening. I appreciate your time.
Everybody.
Thank you.
We are on,
Cheryl, do you need a roll call?
Yeah, thanks for anything. I have to call the roll.
because we are on Zoom.
Okay, so I think we probably got most people still. We can do a roll call.
I'll make it quick. Craig? Oh, he lost it.
After the back count.
Garcia?
Aye.
Chavez?
Hi.
Krajewski?
Aye.
Cry?
Aye.
Shorzy?
Aye.
Selman?
Aye.
Trilla?
Aye.
Veenstra?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Member Krajewski.